Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. It's an open the box and it's an unboxing for the last expansion for Panzer, and it is Expansion 4, the German Invasion of France, 1940, designed by James M. Day and Fernando Sola Ramos, and published, of course, by GMT Games. So, what's all this about? So as before, to play this expansion you will need a copy of the basic Panzer game, but ownership of the other expansions is not required. So, Panzer expansion number 4 opens the action on the Western Front with the German invasion of France. The playbook includes the new solitaire and leader rules, and a host of new optional rules covering command span, staggered initiative, quick draw, hull and turret damage, spot removal, delayed reaction, bocage country, defensive fire, and many others. The solitaire rules enable players to test their tactics as either the French or Germans while engaging a situational based AI system generating challenging responses. The leader rules add a powerful new dynamic. They represent individuals of various ranks and skills that can influence gameplay in a number of unique ways. To cover all fronts, French, German, Soviet, British and US leader counters are included. Included are 5 versions of the French H and R series tanks, the Char B1 bis, S-35, AMD-35, infantry, anti-tank guns, 2 aircraft and many others. The Germans are also well covered with the Panzer 1B, 2C, 3F, 4D, 35T, 38T and Stug 3A, SPWs, PSWs, 1 new aircraft and more. The 12 scenarios include 2 historical, 8 historical based and 2 solitaire scenarios that cover a wide range of action between French and German units, including 2 clashes between French mobile units including the Char B1 bis, heavy tank and elements of German Infanterie Regiment Großdeutschland at Stone. The detailed TO&E book outlines 5 French divisions, including the DLM, Division Légère Mécanique, and the DCR, Division Cuirassée de Réserve, and 3 German divisions, plus Infanterie Regiment Großdeutschland as it was structured in May 1940. Excuse my pronunciations. So, here's the, by now well-known data cards, some of the counters, and a little bit of one of the map boards. So, in the box, we've got 1 playbook, 21 full-colour data cards, 4 full-colour counter sheets, 1 TO&E book, 4 10 by 27 inch geomorphic map boards with 1 inch hexes, making 8 map boards in total. Game scale, as always, individual tanks, vehicles, towed guns and aircraft, infantry squads, half squads and sections. Players, 1 or more. Ages 14 plus. Time each game turn 15 seconds to 15 minutes, and the map has hexes 100 meters across. And on the game meter, the complexity is still 6 out of 9, medium high, but the solitaire suitability, of course, is sky high at 9 out of 9. Game design, as you heard earlier, James M. Day and Fernando Sola Ramos. Art director, Roger B. McGowan. Production coordinator, Tony Curtis. The usual crew of executive producers, counter art and design, Pete Abrams, James M. Day, Terry Leeds, excuse me for this next one, Darius Buracheski, and Mark Simonich. Map art and design, Charles Kibler. Rulebook and playbook, Charles Kibler and Mark Simonich. Package art and logo design, Roger B. McGowan. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off. It's the normal 2-inch box, but because this wasn't one of the P500 reprints, it's in the thinner box that they used a couple of years ago. So let's open the box. First thing we see are the data cards. We'll have a look at those in a moment. But first, let's have a look at the playbook. Here's the playbook, which comes in at 68 pages. And because it's from an earlier printing, it's that slightly glossy paper. So we've got the table of contents, introduction, historical notes, historical scenarios, solitaire scenarios, and then the optional rules. Now, because this is an earlier printing and hasn't been, I suppose, coordinated with these new P500 expansions that have just come out, some of these optional rules will be in the base game optional rules, such as the rules for leaders and so on, although there are specific optional rules for this expansion. So quite a few of them. As I said, here's the leaders again, which is in those optional rules in the base game. But the counters are in this expansion. Then, solitaire rules. Quite a few of those, I understand. And as I mentioned earlier, there are 2 solitaire scenarios in this expansion. Unfortunately, the solitaire rules don't lend themselves very well to adapting the normal 2-player scenarios, if you like. But on BGG, the designer has given suggestions of how you can tweak and adapt those for solitaire play. Quite a few pages of solitaire rules. Which seems a lot for just 2 scenarios, but hopefully we can adapt some of the other scenarios to play with these. And then we're into the scenarios themselves. And this one says it's designed for play after reviewing just the basic rules because it's just vehicles. So that's good to know if you're still trying out the basic rules. So looking forward to this expansion because it's early war. So I won't show you them all, but give you a quick, brief overview. Oh, there's the capture of Ston. Counterattack. De Gaulle's first action. Ah, Stukas. There we are. And the French unit summary chart and the German unit summary chart, I think, for when you design your own scenarios. And on the back, we've got some tables for solitaire play. That's your playbook. Also in this earlier printing, we get some baggies, which we don't get in the new printings that have just come out. Here's the TO&E booklet for expansion 4, again with tremendous amount of information should you wish to delve deep into the organisation of the armies. Fantastique! 4 double-sided geomorphic map boards, so let's have a quick look at those. Here's the first one, map 22. Lots of hills and woods. That's going to be awkward. And the other side shows us map 26. Map 23. And on the other side, map 27. Here's map 24. With map 28 on the back. And lastly, map 25. On the back, this looks like this is going to be used for the historical scenario featuring Stom. Next are the 4 counter sheets. Here's counter sheet 1, again on the thicker brown core, 7/8. And here we've got a plethora of French vehicles and some of the leaders. And on the other side, along with the French units, we've got some more French leaders. Here are the Germans. Junkers 87 down in the bottom right hand corner there. And the other side. Counter sheet 3, some more French and German units, and now we've got the leaders for the other nations, so you can use those in the base game and the other expansions, German, American, British and Commonwealth I assume, and the Soviets. With a load more leaders on the back to choose from. And on the last counter sheet, some French and German infantry and more admin markers. And the other side, of course. And last but not least, the data cards. Here are the French units. Again, I won't show you them all. Give you a quick little look at them. Again, double-sided, so loads to choose from. And of course, the Germans. There we are. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of the last expansion that's currently available for Panzer. Expansion 4, the German invasion of France, 1940, designed by James M. Day and Fernando Sola Ramos, and published by GMT Games. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and you found it interesting. If you did and you haven't done so already, it would be great if you would consider subscribing to the channel, especially now because at the time of videoing we are very close to, would you believe it, 3,000 subscribers. So if you could help out and push us towards that, that would be fantastic. Another thing that helps tremendously is pushing the like button of the video, the old thumbs up. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push the bell. Leave a comment. It looks like there are a ton of solitaire rules, but only 2 solitaire scenarios. But as I mentioned earlier, there are pointers on BGG to hopefully enable you to tweak other scenarios to play solitaire. But let me know, what do you think? I love to read them. Thanks as always to my subscribers, thank you so much. And just before I go, if you wish to support the channel a little bit further, well now you can buy the channel a coffee. And those coffees go towards maintaining the channel and enabling it to upload new content. If you wish to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description, and thank you. So, until next time, as always, you take care and goodbye.